The final lean principle is known as the pursuit of perfection. Womack and Jones describe this perfectly in their Harvard Business Review article. As lean techniques begin to be applied up and down the value stream, something very odd starts to happen. It dawns on those involved that there's no end to the process of reducing effort, time, space, cost, and mistakes, while offering a product that is ever more nearly what the customer actually wants. Why? Because the 4 initial steps interact with one another in a virtuous cycle. A more precise definition of value always challenges the steps in the value stream to reveal waste, and getting value to flow faster always exposes hidden muda. Then, the harder customers pull, the more impediments are revealed, permitting them to be removed. This cycle is continuous improvement and the pursuit of perfection. Pursuing perfection is the final lean principle, but it's not new content within this course. Each week, we discuss ways in which we can leverage both scientific thinking and the growth mindset to challenge our people and our processes toward our true north. The role of a leader is increasingly one of a coach, where you help to grow and develop your people toward a shared vision of the future. This gets us back to socio-technical systems. Throughout the course, we've looked at operational excellence as jointly optimizing the technical and social systems. We can see this in our discussion of flow in the technical sense as takt time, cycle time, and analysis of the theory of constraints, but we can also view the challenge of technical flow through the lens of flow as the psychology of optimal performance. And achieving technical flow requires development of the growth mindset as we seek to understand and transform our work. We see that PDCA cycle records are utilized to rigorously test hypotheses about operational interventions. PDCA requires that people develop problem-solving abilities, scientific thinking, and the growth mindset. And all this is done through meaningful, challenging work. Lean thinking and operational excellence leads to more dependence on people, not less. On a daily basis, teams across the supply chain are engaged in continuous problem-solving and improvement. At this point, let's turn our attention to the 14 principles that constitute the Toyota Way. The principles are organized into 4 broad, interrelated categories, which we often refer to as the 4 Ps. At our base is philosophy, which represents long-term systems thinking. Next is process, where we struggle to flow value to each customer. People. Respect, challenge, and grow your people and partners toward a vision of excellence. And problem solving. Think and act scientifically to improve toward a desired future. As we walk through the individual principles, think through where your organization currently is in your desired state along each of the principles. Toyota Way author Jeff Liker breaks down the principles into 3 levels: traditional command and control operations, a lean tools approach, and the Toyota Way vision. Follow along with this breakdown and assessment in the Toyota Way's 2nd edition appendix to help evaluate where you currently are on your lean journey. As we've discussed with the scientific method and meaningful measurements and KPIs, don't run to excel along each of the principles, although it's tempting to do so. Instead, pick the critical few that are most meaningful to the purpose of your organization and apply the same rigorous experimentation that we've learned throughout the course. And, as always, work to incorporate the voice of the customer through approaches like agile and design thinking, while being sure to challenge and develop your team along the way. Let's walk through each principle together and discuss what constitutes the Toyota Way vision of True North. Principle 1. Base your management decisions on long-term systems thinking, even at the expense of short-term financial goals. Understand your place in the history of the company and work to bring the company to the next level. Work, grow, and align the whole organization toward a common purpose that is bigger than making money. This is the underlying premise of lean impact, which challenges all of us to think big, set ambitious goals, and build an engine for growth that will move the needle relative to the size of the problem. Start small. Build the agility to run fast experiments and drive feedback loops that will accelerate your pace of learning. Relentlessly seek impact. Identify and track the metrics that matter to increase impact and scale. As we consider our broader impact on society, think about the meaning we create in the lives of those that work with us, and think of your organization as a living socio-technical system. Investing in developing people allows them to locally control complex system dynamics. Principle 2. Connect people and processes through continuous flow to bring problems to the surface. Design work processes to achieve high value-added, continuous flow, at the pace of customer demand. Strive to eliminate any time that any work product is sitting idle or waiting for someone to work on it. And remember, we're working in socio-technical systems, and there's a social side we need to consider here as well. Work to create flow, as in the psychology of optimal performance, by challenging and supporting your team members. It's the key to creating a culture of continuous improvement. Principle 3, use pull systems to avoid overproduction. Provide your downstream internal and external customers with exactly what they want when they want it. Minimize your work in process and warehousing of inventory by restocking small amounts of each product and restock based on what the customer actually takes away. Principle 4, level out the workload, like the tortoise, not the hare. The elimination of waste is just a portion of lean thinking. Eliminating overburden to people and equipment and eliminating unevenness in the production schedule are just as important as eliminating waste. Work to level out the workload of all manufacturing and service processes. Principle 5, work to establish standardized processes as the foundation for continuous improvement. Strive for stable, repeatable methods to maintain a steady cadence in your processes based on customer tact. It's the foundation for flow and pull. And treat the standardized work as a living document, utilizing the scientific thinking capabilities developed within your team to improve upon the standard, so when a person moves on, you can hand the learning off to the next person. Principle 6, build a culture of stopping to identify out-of-standard conditions and build in quality. Think back to our work on statistical process control. How will you know when something has changed? Leverage Steven Spear's 4 rules in use to ensure each step knows exactly what to expect in terms of content, sequence, timing, and outcome. And if something isn't right, there should be a clear channel of communication to send requests and receive responses, in addition to creating systems where team members are encouraged to pull the and-on cord and immediately stop to problem solve. Build into your culture brutal honesty about weaknesses in the system and use deviations from the standard as data to drive improvements. Principle 7, use visual control to support people in decision-making and problem-solving. Use simple visual indicators to help people determine immediately whether they are in a standard condition or deviating from it in some way. Principle 8, adopt and adapt technology that supports your people and processes. Pull technology to help address real problems rather than pushing technology because everyone else is using it. And like anything else, run tests and experiment with it before adopting to make sure it sufficiently addresses your hypothesis. Increasingly, work to use IoT technologies to support people in problem solving and improvement. Principle 9, grow leaders who thoroughly understand the work, live the philosophy, and teach it to others. Grow leaders from within when possible, rather than buying them from outside the organization to build and sustain the culture. Go see, ask why, and show respect. A good leader must understand the daily work in sufficient detail so he or she can be the best teacher of your company's philosophy. And finally, the most important role of the leader is that of a coach that's focused on helping others find flow by working to create challenging and meaningful work. Principle 10, develop exceptional people and teams who follow your company's philosophy. Again, this is the critical work of the leader as a coach. It's not just about challenging and developing your team members, but doing so in a way that provides meaning and is in alignment with the true north of the organization. We should all be working toward the same overarching goal and working with the same core set of values. Principle 11, respect your value chain partners by challenging them and helping them improve. Challenge your outside business partners to grow and develop. It shows that you value them. Just as we do with our internal team members, set challenging targets and assist your partners in achieving them. Principle 12, observe deeply and learn iteratively to meet each challenge. Go to Gemba and personally observe and verify data, rather than make decisions based on assumptions from the comfort of a conference room. Become a learning organization by developing people the mindset to think scientifically, and use deliberate practice under the guidance of a coach to help you get there. Principle 13, focus the improvement energy of your people through aligned goals at all levels. Hoshin Kanri, or policy deployment, is Toyota's approach to jointly aligning goals and plans at all levels to lay out targets for the year, and use PDCA cycles to iterate your way there. Practice using the A3 to summarize and challenge your thinking about problem solving, new proposals, and strategy. And finally, Principle 14, learn your way to the future through bold strategy. some large leaps, and many small steps. Organizations need a strategy to provide distinctive products and services. Leverage design thinking and blue ocean strategy and couple it with agile and lean to guide our journey toward meaningful work done in beautifully designed socio-technical systems.